from Baltimore, Real Princess on Instagram from New Jersey. Good morning. Good morning, Maddie from Facebook. Um, okay, so let me introduce myself, guys. Real Princess, this is your first time from New Jersey. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Aisha Chidole. I'm an immigration attorney and I represent clients all over the United States with their immigration matters, family immigration. You can call me 407-995-6567, or you can send us a message on WhatsApp 404-333-8751. Your location doesn't matter. We're able to assist you regardless of what location you live in with your family immigration matter, humanitarian based cases, cases on abuse, and things like that. Good morning, Cecilia from Indiana. Tyler, good morning from California. And Denise, good morning. And good morning, Linton. Thank you so much, Linton. I appreciate it. And to everybody else on Facebook, on Instagram. So, guys, today I want to talk about conditional green cards and really what it is and how to basically go from a conditional green card to a permanent green card. So for those of you who don't know, basically what a conditional green card is a green card that you get that is only valid for 2 years. And what that means is that you have to remove the conditions in your green card after 2 years, or you won't be eligible for citizenship, or they could revoke your conditional green card. So I want to talk about one, why some people get conditional green cards, two, how to remove the conditions, and three, how to file for naturalization while your conditional green card removal is pending. So the first thing is when you submit a petition, and I'm only going to talk about marriage-based cases and family-based cases, since I know that's what the majority of you want to know. Toyer says, this is my first time here. Good. Thank you so much. Good morning for joining in. We have a lot of first timers. Okay, so a conditional green card is the type of green card that you are given when you submit a petition with your spouse or your step parent, and you've only been married for under 2 years at the time they approve your green card. So at the time they approve your green card, if you've been married for under 2 years, what you're going to get is a 2-year conditional green card. If you've been married for more than 2 years, you will get a permanent green card, which is basically a 10-year green card. Here the difference is that with a 10-year green card, you don't have to remove conditions on your green card because there are no conditions. You can choose to just file for citizenship when you become eligible for citizenship, and then some people choose to just keep their green card, but you should become a citizen so that you don't even have to deal with anything else, and you're able to vote and do many other things that non-US citizens can do. So when you get that conditional green card, the way that you remove the conditions is the following. At the 2-year mark, 90 days before the 2-year mark, you and your spouse who got the joint conditional, who filed with you, you can either choose to do what we call a joint removal of condition, meaning you're saying that you and your spouse are together, you're still married, everything is good, and we're asking to remove the conditions on the green card so that I can become a permanent green card holder. Okay. And then the second option is if you and your spouse, in that 2 years, things don't work out, and you guys file for divorce, you can remove the conditions in your green card based on divorce. But if you choose to remove your conditions on the basis of divorce, what you're going to need is a waiver exempting you from the requirement that you need to remove the condition with your spouse. That being said, when you're doing an exception, when you're asking for an exception, you have to still prove strong bona fides. And I know you guys have heard me talk about this a lot. For those of you who haven't, but for those of you who have, but for those of you who haven't, one of the things I stress a lot with conditional green card holders is that it is much tougher to remove the conditions of your green card when you're sure you don't have a lot of bona fides. Think about it this way. When you first get married to somebody, you guys are newlyweds, you're not going to have a lot of stuff. You're not going to have as much stuff as somebody who's been married for like 3 years or 4 years and stuff like that. But when you're a conditional green card holder, imagine that, let's say you got your green card at like year 1 of your marriage. By the time you're removing your conditions, you're at year 3 of your marriage. USCIS expects that you're not going to have the same excuse as somebody else who, just recently married somebody. They don't even have anything together. They don't have a social security number. They don't have a green card. They don't have a work permit. They don't have anything. They're not going to have as much stuff as you who has a conditional green card. So it is really critical, guys, once you get your conditional green card, that you continue to accumulate things that prove your marriage. Whether or not your marriage ends, and I'll get into all the other exemption, it is important that you continue to accumulate things, meaning when you're submitting your application for conditional removal, you don't want to submit evidence of things you guys had prior to you being approved for the green card in the first place. You want to submit evidence of things that you have acquired, after the conditional green card. So if you got your conditional green card in 2015, when you're removing your condition in 2017, the things you should be showing them are things from after 2015 through 2017. Okay, because now you have a social security, now you have a green card. So there are things that you guys can get together. Now, having said that, there are going to be some times where people don't have a lot to show their marriage, so in those cases, you really, really, really have to go through your archives for everything credible to show the legitimacy of your marriage. An example where sometimes that will happen mostly is the other exemption, which is based on abuse. So similar to VAWA cases, in that a conditional removal based on extreme cruelty and battery, if you're able to show that you had a bona fide marriage, but your spouse was abusive, you can remove your conditions of your green card on that basis, whether you and your spouse are together or not. And if you get a removal of conditions on that basis, you're actually eligible for citizenship after 3 years, whether or not you and your spouse divorce or not. In that case, sometimes you do have an abuser who doesn't allow you to accumulate a lot of stuff. So it's possible that you might not accumulate a lot of stuff because, you may have a controlling spouse, or, somebody that is just not allowing you to do the bona fides because, they basically know how this goes. And they're like, what, I'm not going to help you. I'm going to make sure that you don't get your green card. So I'm going to make sure. So, but in that case, you still document those things. People tell me, oh, they get upset at their spouse and they delete all the pictures. They delete all the text. Please do not do that. If nobody has told you, do not do that. If you and your spouse get into an argument back and forth, blah, 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 save that bad boy, because you never know when you're going to need it. Especially as somebody who's in the immigration process, because sometimes that shows the legitimacy of your marriage. When you're arguing like a married couple, or when your spouse and you are having conversations, one person is at work and you're having conversations like a normal spouse. Sometimes having the phone number proof that that's your spouse number and that's your spouse, that is helpful. So stop deleting those things. Same thing if you guys have pictures from different occasions in your life. You guys went to Disney, you guys went to, I don't know, Arizona, or wherever people go to, don't delete it because, you guys are angry or whatever, because those things help you with your evidence. So with that conditional removal, there are two things that you're going to need to show. You're going to need to show, one, that you still had a bona fide marriage, which is a legitimate marriage, and you didn't just do this for green card. But two, that the marriage was abusive, and that's why you requested an exemption. And then the third other option is, of course, if your spouse, God forbid, passes away. If your spouse passes away, you need to obviously provide proof that your spouse has passed away. And then you also need to provide proof that while your spouse was alive, you guys had a bona fide marriage. And then the last thing, which I rarely ever talk about, just because it's really, really hard to get, is extreme hardship. So if you're just asking for an exemption based on extreme hardship, I mean, it's an option. So there are obviously maybe some people that have that option, but extreme hardship, you really have to show a lot, to get that approved. So those are some of the ways that you can remove the condition, both based on a good marriage and based on, things not going well with your marriage, or based on your spouse passing away. And then the final thing is, that I said I wanted to talk about is, when you have a conditional green card, how can you then become eligible for citizenship? So if you have a conditional green card and your conditional green card is pending, any of you that have gone through the conditional green card process, that conditional green cards take a long time, which to remove the condition, which is why they're giving everyone 24-month extensions to their green cards, because it's taken a long time for them to process these cases. So, while your case is pending, you can file for naturalization, if you're eligible for naturalization. So if your case is pending and you've had your conditional green card since, let's do 2018, so 19, 20, 21, right? So let's say you submitted your application in 2018 January, and it's still you submitted your green card removal, and you got your green card in January of 2018. So 19, 20, 21, January of 2021, you're eligible. You're eligible for applying for citizenship. And what will happen is that they will schedule you for your naturalization interview and your green card removal interview. And they will do your green card removal first interview. And then when they finish that, they'll do your naturalization, and you'll get a double approval. So if you're one of those people that are sort of stuck in the system where your conditional green card is just like pending and it's been a couple of years and you're eligible for citizenship, one of the things you want to do, is, file for citizenship. You got to have a strong conditional green card removal case. So is to file for citizenship, because citizenship has a statutory requirement that they must complete it at a certain time. So at least that would sort of like push them to interview you and make a decision quicker. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Let me answer some questions. Okay, so Denise says, good morning, beautiful lady. Good morning to you too. Thank you. Linton says, good morning, my sister. You're doing a good job. Thank you. Amanda says, I have a friend who wants to know your fee. He's in England. Your friend needs to call and schedule a consult. Armando, you know the process, so you can let him know. And then Tyler says, I've heard about you from a friend, first time here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to ask if you assist same-sex couples. Yes, we assist everybody here. Jamaican Queen says, good morning. This is my first time. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining. Fafo B from Orlando. Good morning. Jamaica says, my girlfriend's 90-day has expired. Can she travel domestic? Her 90-day what has expired? What are you asking? So you if you could just be a bit more clear on what is 90-day, what is expiring. Okay, let's see here on Instagram. Hi from Indianapolis, Blessing. Sorry guys, I have my other screen up, so like I'm like trying to scroll through to see these questions. Good morning, Fabini, hairstylist. Yinka says, wow, you're doing a great job. Thank you. Sweet Mom says, good morning. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, guys. Well, it doesn't seem like I have a lot of questions today. So I might jump off early, but just real quick to remind you guys again, we are on day 6 today of our 10 days of giving. So for those of you who want to enter, the requirement is that you must be following us either on Facebook or Instagram. You have to tag 5 friends on the post that specifically talks about 10 days of giving. You have to share it either on Facebook, on Instagram. If you have a private page, make sure you DM us with a picture of you sharing it. And then you have to tell us your favorite immigrant experience or memory here in the United States. I know I've said this ad nauseum, but let me repeat it again. If you don't live in the United States, you will not qualify to win. We've actually had to change winners because some people don't live in the United States. We're really doing this to give back, and we want to give back to our immigrant community. So we want people that live in the United States to give back. On the last day, you're eligible to win $500. So that will be good, for you to enter. And that one is going to be done on 20th. I'm sure you guys have seen my kids on live every night at 8 p.m. They're definitely enjoying going through it. And they are very serious about checking y'all status to see who lives in America and who doesn't, or who's following the rules. So if you don't follow the rules, my kids are not entering you guys in there, and they know all the people that they put in there. So, okay, I have a few more questions on here. Somebody says, can you wait 2 years after your marriage and then file for your permanent residence? Yeah, you can file for your permanent residence at any time. It's really up to you. Obviously, if you wait 2 years before you file, then that means that by the time you get your green card, you will have a permanent 10-year green card. You're not going to have a 2-year conditional green card. Another thing too is if you do it in about a year. Right now most green card applications are taking about 12 what am I saying, 12 months, like about 14 months, give or take. So let's say, you've been married a year and a couple months or something like that, if you file, by the time you get your green card, it'll be more than 2 years. So you'll get a 10-year green card then as well. So somebody says on YouTube, what happens if you divorce when you apply for removal of condition? What will happen to the stepson's case? So similar to your own case, you have to still show proof of bona fides. So with the stepchild, obviously you will present the divorce decree, but you also have to present proof that you and the father or the person who filed for the stepchild had a legitimate marriage. So basically the same thing you're providing for yourself, you have to provide it for the child, so that way they can remove his condition. And then it also depends on when that stepchild filed, because if that person got their green card, the stepchild got their green card within 90 days of the mother or the father, they will be able to remove their conditions together. Right, you can list them, but if it was well after, then they will have to file their own removal of conditions and stuff like that. Tyler says, looking beautiful, love the makeup, hair, nails. Thank you so much. Armando, you got 18 months, probably because you got yours before September 18. And what he's talking about is that he got an 18-month extension. That's probably because you got yours before September 9th. I want to say September 9th was when they started giving 24-month extensions. But for those of you who are in the boat of being in a green card, conditional green card extension, what you can do is, when your stuff is about to expire, if you've not gotten your green card removed yet, you can schedule an info pass, and then they will stamp you for an additional 12 months. So they will basically continue stamping you until they make a decision on your case, because, whether your card has expired or not, your green card status has not, your conditional permanent residence status has not expired. Think about it this way. If you were a U.S. citizen and your passport expires, it doesn't mean that you're no longer a U.S. citizen. It just means that your passport has expired, okay? OJ Blazing says you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much. Fakibanibo says, are you based in Atlanta? Can one schedule an in-person appointment in Atlanta? So right now, I'm actually based in Florida, but you can schedule a consult with me via video. Or when I come to Atlanta, we have an office in Atlanta. I'm not going there for the rest of the year because I've been there several times in the last few months. So I'm traveled out till January. So if you want to schedule a consult with me, you can still schedule one on Zoom, and we can, chat on video. Okay, guys, I have about 5 minutes before I jump off. Cecilia says I have my consultation in 10 minutes. Cecilia, I don't have the WhatsApp. I can't do WhatsApp, unfortunately, just because I don't have the office WhatsApp. I know sometimes when you guys send these messages, you think you're talking to me. I don't even have the office WhatsApp. It's not in my office. So, we'll have to do it on Zoom. Okay. Let's see. Everblessed says, does the experience have to be public, or can we send it to your inbox for the 10 days of giving? Everblessed, I do like people to follow the rules, which means you need to comment it in there. But that being said, if it's something private and you want to share it on the DM, you can share it on the DM. That's fine. And then we'll consider you for it, okay, for the raffle. Can I file for VAWA if I can't find my wedding pictures? Right? That's what you're trying to say, not weed pictures, right? You're trying to say wedding pictures. Okay, yeah, you're trying to say wedding pictures. So, here's what I say about wedding pictures. To me, if you got married in court like you just went to like a court registry and stuff like that, to me, I don't think your wedding pictures are relevant. It means absolutely nothing. Why? Because everybody that goes to court is going to take a picture. Like, it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove you're married. So whether it's lost or not, or whether you send it or not, it's not going to make or break your case in any way, in my opinion. It's not going to make a difference whatsoever in your case. However, if you had a wedding, meaning you had like 30 people, you had like 50 people there, you had like 100 people there, you guys had a ceremony, you guys had a reception, you guys had a honeymoon. Now, if you had that, that is evidence gold. Gather it all, gather all those pictures, gather all the albums, those are strong evidence. So it depends on, when you say you lost your wedding pictures, what kind of wedding pictures? If it was a court wedding, then like I said, and there was just you and like what, one or two witnesses, we don't care about that. If you had a wedding, and those are the pictures you lost, then that means that there will be other people that came to your wedding who have copies of your wedding pictures, or of the event. So reach out to those people that attended your wedding and see if any of them can send it to you. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to see you guys tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. My daughters are looking forward to it. They'll be announcing day 6 winner of the $100 every night and $500 on the 20th. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful and productive week. Bye.